Good afternoon, everyone. Taking a break from the women's foil now, we have the women's sabre. Again, I'm Jack Landale. We have, to the left, Caroline Martin. To the right, Karen Campbell. Richard Foster, our referee for today. Starting straight away, Caroline Martin with the first point. We have today Kyle Profit and Finn McCombie on our VAR desk. And as a second point for Caroline Martin, this is going to be a much more fast-paced affair in the sabre semi-finals. And that's the first point on the board for Karen Campbell. We have two fencers today who are first seed for Caroline Martin and fourth seed for Karen Campbell respectively, in what will no doubt be an interesting match to watch. Third point there for Caroline Martin. Ooh. Some fantastic parries there from Campbell, scoring her second point. Briefly testing just to make sure Martin's blade didn't go through the parries there, but a wonderful display from Campbell. And on preparation, Caroline Martin with the fourth point. And that's another parry coming in from Karen Campbell. Truly shaping up to be her main manoeuvre in this match. Something she's been very consistent at currently. And that's an attack on preparation for Campbell, evening the scores. Ooh, just missing the parry there from Caroline Martin as she scores the fifth point. And that's another point for Campbell, really sticking to those points, keeping that lead up. And that's another point for Martin to eke out that 1 point lead once again. Again, a wonderful parry from Campbell. Seems as though the decision was that the parry did in fact go through, however Martin was able to get a beat attack going into that, meaning she scored the 7th point. It's gone together for that next one as we go into the next half. Again, wonderful parrying there from Campbell, who closes the gap. 7 points to 6 now to Martin. Ooh, just going through the parry there again. Caroline Martin with the 8th point to go into the break. Caroline Martin, our first seed, getting some advice there from her own son, a Henry Martin, who has been fencing today in the épée and will be fencing again in the sabre tomorrow, I imagine. There's Karen Campbell also having a discussion with another member from Exeter University, very own beginner secretary Jack Bowes, soon to be welfare secretary. Been a fantastic match so far for the women's sabre semi-final. Depending on who wins this match, they will go on to face the winner of the match between Sophie Emmons and Amy Freeth. Very close match so far. Both fencers giving a great account of themselves. And we'll see how things progress in the second half. And Richard Foster ready to call for the second half of this match. Slight issue with the technology there, but back in, ready to fence for the second half. Very good parry there from Campbell, taking that 7th point. Very good start from Karen Campbell. And that's another parallel post coming in from Karen Campbell. The points are now tied going into this match. Karen just missing that attack there. Caroline Martin capitalising, scoring the 9th point. And on preparation, Caroline Martin extending that lead to 10. 10 points to 8 going into the next point. And Karen missing those parries. She's been getting them all match, but unable to quite score that parry post against Caroline Martin. Karen just rushing with that riposte there, taking the priority and missing, with Caroline Martin taking the point, taking us to 12-8. And that's another parry riposte. Karen finding that resolve, finding that parry once again. And Karen falling over ever so slightly there. Unfortunately not scoring a point while she does so. As we go 13-9 to Caroline Martin. And Caroline Martin taking the 14th point. Only 1 point now required to book a victory and to secure a place in the finals. And that's a parry post from Karen. A wonderful parry post there. Absolutely incredible from Campbell, who's been really nailing those parry posts this match. That's another miss going into the middle as Caroline Martin advances. Caroline really taking her time, but misses. And Karen again missing at the back. And Karen Campbell getting the parry once again. Series of parry ripostes there. Does seem as though the referee has not called that towards Campbell. It seems as though Caroline Martin had her wire out. Seems to be a little bit of discussion there. Karen takes the priority, misses, as Caroline Martin advances once again. And she takes the win. Karen just a little too quick on that riposte, unable to capitalise on those wonderful parries she displayed as Caroline Martin advances into the final, our first seed, to go on and fence the winner of this next semi-final. Wonderful job from Campbell though, some brilliant parries, just a little too rushed when it comes to those priority attacks. But certainly gave good account of herself and very deserving of that 3rd place medal.